This is the 1 minute review of Rush, currently in theater, starring the guy who plays Thor. So, Rush is a terrible name for this movie. It's kind of a terrible name for a movie. It doesn't mean anything at all. And that's sad because this was a pretty darn good movie. Rush is based on some true life events that happened in the 1970s in Formula One racing in Europe. And I don't know anything about Formula One racing or really racing at all. And I still liked this movie a lot. I'm glad I didn't know what had happened going in because it was a surprise to me what ends up happening. But totally worth seeing. This movie is... let me just say this. The directing in this movie is really good. Like, there's script problems with this movie, and the script problems have to do with the fact that you're trying to cram real life into 2.5 hours, and that doesn't always work very well. So there's implausible meetings that take place and implausible things that people say, and parts where I'm like, really? So there's moments like that, but the directing, man, I'll tell you what, the racing directing, the directing of actors, that whole thing worked incredibly well. This thing was directed by Ron Howard, and I don't have a lot of love for Ron Howard recently. I just think he's sort of a boring director. He's back. Like, Ron Howard, I apologize. You, my friend, are back. Excellent, excellent job. The thing that I need to warn you about this movie is that if you have like kids who love racing and stuff, you cannot take them to this movie. It's rated R for a reason. The reason isn't just language, it's sexual nudity, which I'm like, why did that happen? Now, at the same time, the reason for the sexual nudity in the context is that it's a very modern film, but it's based in the 70s, which was kind of a footloose and fancy-free kind of time in that sense. And so it feels like it's in the 70s. I mean, it's definitely a 70s kind of vibe, even though it's a very modern film. So, adults, other than that aspect of it, I totally recommend you check it out. Just for the human, just for the human drama and some pretty amazing racing scenes.